I'm Zoe, I'll be your occupational therapist today.
Hi Zoe, I'm Barbara.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
Barbara.
to meet you too.
Have you ever had occupational therapy before?
No, it's my first time.
Okay. Do you know anything about it?
I know about physical therapy, but I don't know about occupational.
Okay. Well, basically what I'll be doing for you in our treatment is I'm going to be helping you, especially with your, I know you just had hip surgery. I'm going to be helping you feel safe and independent in your everyday activities and moving around in your home. So how are you feeling today?
I feel okay. I'm having some pain, but I feel okay.
Okay. For the pain, would you say on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, what your pain is?
Maybe between 6 and 7.
Okay. Well, we'll work on decreasing your pain throughout treatment. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me before we start?
I'm having some pain in my shoulder.
Okay, great. Thank you for telling me that. And I'm going to be doing some range of motion testing on you right now just to see if that's impacted at all. So, and if it is, we can work on it from there. So, you can stay seated and I'm going to stand. I know you just had your hip surgery, so I don't want you to be standing without a walker or anything like that. If you could just lift your arms up for me. Is that as much as you can do there? Mm-hmm. Great. And then all the way back down as far as you can go. Great. And then can you put your hands back at your sides and then go up like a jumping jack for me? Great. And back down. And then take from there, can you go above, behind your head like you're washing your hair? Good. And then behind your back like you're tucking your shirt in. And then the next one we're going to do is if you could just have put your arms out for me. And then flip up your palms. Lift up. Great. And then lift back down. Yep. And then flip them down again. And can you raise your palms up like this for me? Great. Now can you make a fist? Tighten, yep, and then open. And then the next thing I want you to do is just go like this. Touch each finger to your thumb. On both hands. Sorry.
At the same time?
Yeah, you can do it at different times. Great. Cool. And then the last thing I want you to do is just can you squeeze my 2 fingers? As hard as you can. Great. Perfect. All right. So from there I saw that your right shoulder was a little bit, like you said, could tell that you were having a little bit of pain. It looked like it was hard for you to reach that. And so through our treatment, we can further work on strengthening your range of motion, making your muscles a little bit stronger. We can do some exercises. We can also use some treatment like ice and something like electrical stimulation. We can work on talking about how those would fit into treatment as we continue, but just keeping those in mind and stretching your arm will be good for you. Then next I'd like to ask you if I could just test your sitting balance. Sure, great. I wanted to check this because it's important to make sure that you aren't prone to like falling or anything like that. I want to make sure that you're pretty stable and have a strong core. Just with you getting stronger and being able to walk more with your new hip, I want to make sure that you're going to be safe at your house. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is you're sitting perfectly great. If you feel unstable, then can you hold on to this for support. And then just make sure that your feet are, they're on the ground, stable, and then you are sitting up pretty tall, so that's great. I'm going to push you around, so don't let me move you, okay? All right, I'm going to stand in front of you so if you catch you, if you fall anywhere. Great. Ooh, great, cool. All right, you seem like you're pretty strong. Sitting is different than standing balance, but since I don't have your walker here with you today. I think sitting would be the best, just to make sure that you're going to be safe. We can do more throughout treatment and at our evaluation tomorrow, but I think that you are pretty strong, and then we'll just continue to work on that so that you feel safe in your house and in the community when you get to moving around. All right, so lastly, I just want to give you some education before you leave. I leave you today, and if you have any questions about this or want to do more of it, you can let me know. So first I want to just remind you of your hip precautions, because it's really important that after your hip replacement surgery, you are following these precautions just to make sure you're continuing to be safe and you won't have any further injury from it. So just like you're sitting now, which is perfect, your knees should be like 90 degrees with your hips, perpendicular. If you end up sitting somewhere that is like in a chair that's too deep or low, your knees are going to be higher than your hips, and that's not really proper alignment, and it could it could cause some damage. So we want to avoid doing that. Also, I would like you to dress when you're getting dressed for the day, to dress when you're sitting down, because this will prevent you from falling. You're not going to be stable because you only maybe have one foot on the ground at a time. So this will just help you with that, but you need to make sure that when you're getting dressed from sitting down that you're not bending over, because that will be, that will be having more hip flexion past 90, and that's not safe, and you could also fall forward. So just making sure that you're not going to be leaning too far forward, and we can do this by using some techniques like adaptive equipment, such as like a sock aid or a shoehorn. We can get into that more, but we've got a lot of devices that can help you during that time period that you need it. Something else that I'd like to do is talk about just continuing just with your hip precautions. When you're sitting, avoid crossing your ankles or while you're sitting, standing, or lying down, actually, because that will also cause further injury, and we don't want to do that to your new hip. So how do you feel about those precautions?
I think they make sense. I'm interested in knowing more about how to put my socks on.
Great. Can you tell me about some of the ones that you want to use? I know you just said you wanted to maybe use the sock aid. I mean, they're all important for you to use.
Yeah.
But can you repeat them back to me?
Well, one of the things that would be really helpful is if I had like a grabber. I've always wanted a grabber.
Okay.
So
well, that's perfect, yeah, because you won't be
then I don't have to get
forward.
up.
Yeah.
I can get things. So
Perfect.
that would be a good thing for me to have. And, I just kind of have to keep it in my walker.
Yeah. And you're allowed to walk around. Your precautions are way bearing as needed, so it's going to be the best for your development to continue to put weight on it. You just need to make sure that you're doing it safely. So next I want to tell you about some joint protection strategies that we can use. So I know that you have, your hip and your shoulder that you're worried about, and I just want to give you some ways that you can make sure that you're being safe with them.
Okay.
So one is to make sure, it kind of goes with the dressing, but just make sure that you are taking breaks. So it's giving you energy conservation, and it's also giving your joints and your muscles a break from what you're doing. So if you were to be vacuuming for a whole hour,
which I can't do,
that would be make you really tired.
Right.
So
I feel tired after I get dressed.
Yeah, taking a break after you do that, or even during dressing, will be good for you to do, and it will prevent those joints. But you don't want to make sure that you're not sitting for too long, because that will also, make you a little stiff. Yeah, so I want you to make sure that you can still continue gardening. And some ways that we can do that are, again, with sitting. We can actually adapt your environment. So we can raise your garden bed to be for you sitting or standing. It'll just be kind of
I
like
would love that.
hip, shoulder height. That's awesome. And so that you can sit or stand, and that will, give you some relief. Also, there actually are some gardening tools that we can look into that would be more beneficial for your shoulder. Because, this is a lot of, using your shovel is a lot of movement for your shoulder, and it's best to focus on using the stronger joints than the weaker. So holding that shovel in your wrist is going to be actually more detrimental than using something larger that will kind of like attach to your arm. And so I think we could, think about getting you those so that while we're strengthening your arm, you could still garden.
Okay.
Another thing that you said was that you're kind of worried about showering. And I want you to feel safe in the shower, and it's important to take showers. And so I wanted to ask, do you have any shower equipment? Do you have like a shower
chair?
bench or
I have a
anything?
shower chair, a
Okay.
bench.
Okay, so you have a shower bench, which is perfect. Do you have grab bars in your shower?
Well, I have one little thing that's not strong like a grab bar.
Okay.
I just have a little tiny bar.
Maybe we can work on getting bigger grab bars just in case to give you some more support. So how are you feeling about the information that we've discussed?
I feel good about it. I think that we talked about some good things.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'll remember it all.
Well, how about you tell me about some things that you've remembered so far?
Okay. Put my feet on the ground and be at a 90-degree angle, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I bend forward, my hip is not in a, thank you. I know that would be a strain on my hips.
Yeah.
To do anything that's
Don't
not
do it.
natural. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. I mean, we talked about the shower. I liked the extended, washer. And the grab bars I think would be helpful because mostly I'm staying on my bench right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I feel a little more hopeful.
Oh, good. That's what I was hoping to hear.
Good.
And we're only at the beginning, so we'll get that. So just for me, I'm going to kind of share with you what we talked about. So we talked about the hip precautions. We talked about using adaptive devices for dressing. We talked about just energy conservation throughout the day and protecting your joints. We also did discuss some environmental modifications that we could do and some adaptive equipment just for both your showering and your gardening. And I think that might be it. And we just, went through your balance and your range of motion. And we'll continue on working on those tomorrow in the evaluation. Do you have any other questions?
No, but I didn't realize that there was something I could do for my shoulder.
Oh, good.
So that's, that makes me feel good.
Good.
So no questions.
Okay, awesome. Well, I will see you tomorrow
Okay.
for your evaluation, for your full evaluation. And we can discuss anything that comes up, or we can discuss any of these things more. And then we will eventually go on to treatment, and we're going to get walking around again.
Great. Thank you, Zoe, so much.
No problem. Have a good day.